What is up, everyone? How's it going? Let us all know who is here with us in the chat on our Facebook group. So go into the Project GSD group and you'll see where I put the link here. If you guys let us know who is all here with us and let us know. We are live. Feed me knowledge. I love it, Eric. I'll do my best. All right, let me know who is all here, guys. So we got Eric. What's up, buddy? Roman, how's it going, boss? Josh Scutley, my man. What's up, dude? I'm not sure who's all coming out for the panel. It might be just me all by my lonesome. Well, if I'm all by myself, I don't have to wear a headset. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'll wait a couple minutes. Just make sure we get a couple people here. Dan's here. What's up, Dan? How's it going, boss? Let's see if everyone can. Let's see who's all. Getting a lot of feedback. Damn, maybe I do have to wear a headset then. Okay, hopefully that fixes the feedback issue. Terrence Martin, what's up, boss? Steven Vega, how's it going, brother? What is up? I'll wait for a couple minutes, just make sure everyone has here. For those of you guys that are here right now, and for those of you guys that I've been seeing, I'm trying to do a couple update videos during the week. Probably not going to be doing them every day, but if I do them every couple days. I saw some of you guys, I know Roman was commenting on there, Josh was, and what I kind of, ultimately why I wanted to do those is just kind of to do a little bit of accountability for you guys, right? Because one of the biggest things is obviously being consistent, and I know when you're kind of by yourself and you're working on your own, it's really easy to kind of let yourself kind of go a little bit, you know. It's like, you know what, I'm not going to read today, or I should put up ads today, but I'm just gonna wait, you know, or I should do this, but you know, I'm not. So why I did that was to kind of create that consistency and create that accountability, so that you guys have, you know, even if you're like, oh man, I'm not gonna do it, but then you see the video, you're like, oh shit, okay, I gotta do it. I gotta go do it. I gotta get it done, right? So if you guys got value from those at all, and if you guys haven't seen and you don't know what I'm talking about, go check in the group and check those videos after we do the webinar, and let me know what you guys thought about those. And what I would do is every time I post one of those, comment on them. Let us know where you're at, because what I'm going to do is the next time I shoot one of those videos, I'm going to go back and answer the questions, or I'm going to go back and handle what the people have said and what they've commented on, so that if you guys say and you come on, you go, hey, what's up, Carlson? How's it going, boss? So if you guys say, you know, hey, I'm at this point in my business, I'm running ads, they're going pretty good, what do I do next? You know what I mean? And then it's like, cool, I can break that down and be like, hey, well, I would do this. I would go through the 7-figure sales training. I would go through it probably 4 times. I would write notes on it, and I would get really comfortable with it. That's the cat. That's awesome. And then when I'm really comfortable with it, then I would start doing my own. You see what I mean? Right? I can kind of break that down specific to you, but you're only gonna get what you want to hear if you guys actually comment on there. So let me know in the Facebook chat there. Oh, I lost everyone. Let me know in the Facebook chat there. My internet isn't happy with me right now. It's all right, Josh. It's all good. They are good. And so what I want to do, and you know, if you guys don't get value, if you guys don't want me to do stuff like that, and if I don't see that there's enough people that are interacting with them, I won't bother. I don't need to waste half an hour of my day if no one gets value out of it. I won't do it. I'll focus on some other stuff, and that's cool, right? It's if it gives you guys value, if you guys want to have the ability to ask questions and say, hey, I'm here, where do I go? And you want to have that on a weekly basis, cool. I'd love to do that, right? But if you don't care, if you guys aren't commenting, if you don't want to take advantage of it, then I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna focus on some other stuff that I know are gonna get some, you know, myself and other people results. So let me know if you guys do want me to continue doing those videos. Let me know, and if you do, comment on them. Let us know where you're at. Let us know what you're doing for the day. The biggest thing for those is to know, okay, where are you at today? What have you done so far? What are you going to get done for the rest of the day? And what do you have planned for the rest of the week? Right? This is the thing, is that you want to start. This is one thing that I struggled with for a very long time, is that I wasn't in a routine, right? I wasn't reading the magic every day. I wasn't doing a lot of things. I wasn't reading every day. I wasn't structured. And so as soon as I started doing that, as soon as I started grabbing the magic, and then I got a bunch of books over here too, but it's the Powerful Engagement. As soon as I started really doing that and consistent every day, reading every day, listening to audios every day, all of those things, that's when I started to get the big results, right? Because I was being accountable. I was holding myself accountable and making sure that I do that. Now, I did have to sometimes have, Cameron go, hey, what are you reading right now? Hey, well, what are you listening to in audios? Right? And then he'd do that, and I go, oh, crap, I didn't read anything today. I better go read, right? That's why I started doing those, is to get it. So do it, Jeff says. All right, awesome. Jeff, who hasn't commented on any of the videos, might I add. Just bugging you, buddy. But right, I want to do that. If you guys get value out of this, hell yeah, I want to do that for sure. But comment on them and let us know. Get detailed. Let us know where you're at. Let us know what you're struggling with. Let us know what you want to do. Where you're at. This is where you need to go. Because the fact is, guys, I don't have time to do coaching calls with every single person one-on-one, but I do have time to, get half an hour and quickly break down every person that comments on there and just jot down some things there, right? I have no problem doing some stuff like that if it helps you. Oh, sir, I like your tea, sir. I got water.
Delicious. Little illy coffee. Good job staying hydrated. I saw your other video about you getting on your hydration program. That's good, man. It's critical to obviously all functions of the body, metabolism, overall health, detoxification, everything. It's huge part. I got tested a couple months ago, and I was off the charts in hydration because I've been drinking a gallon of water a day per year. The who tested me was like, there's actually been nobody in the office that ever tested that high, guys. And the hydration level is so huge that you really got to practice that for sure.
That's awesome. And if anyone, guys, you should listen to, don't take it from me, take it from Carlson, who knows his stuff when it comes to fitness and stuff like that. And I mean, for those of you guys reading the Powerful Engagement, you guys are really starting to see that. I know I've never even realized that I was dehydrated this whole time. I never even knew, because I never even knew what it felt like to be hydrated. My brain is quicker. I'm faster. I'm more on point. I'm way more productive. I gained 10 pounds in like the last but I feel stronger at the gym. I'm stronger now. Like everything has been better just from doing that. And I mean, take that in consideration when you guys are, how productive and effective you are when you guys are doing ads, when you guys are doing any area of your business, even just when in your relationships, in any area of your life, when you start to really take, just as simple as drinking water every day. You know what I mean? And what can that do to not only benefit yourself, your health, but your productivity and the stuff that you get done, how clear you are mentally, right? So, Dylan Ray, what's up, brother? Okay, so Steven wants the videos. Jeff wants the videos. Roman says, I need the videos. Awesome, guys. If you guys want me to keep doing them, let me know in the comments in that group there that you want me to keep doing them. And I love it. I'll do that as much as possible. Maybe what I might do is start doing them on my YouTube channel and just posting YouTube links. And then if you guys ever run into anything, whenever you guys see those videos, not only can you comment, okay, where you're at, where you want to be, whatever you're looking to get there, but then if you have something specific that you want me to touch on quickly, or you want me to make a video on, or something like that, put it in the comments too. Be like, hey, I love this video, but for next video, can you talk about this? Or next video, can you talk about this? Whatever it is you guys want, let me know how I can serve you more. I mean, I'm going to do everything in my power to do that already, but then anything extra that you want to learn specifically, let it in there. And as soon as I can possibly go out and do stuff like that, I'll be sure to do that. We got some cool stuff actually coming pretty quick here. We're actually going to be, I mean, we've been chatting about this a lot, but now we got new programmers that are actually going to be able to put it all together. I just saw the back office today and it looks pretty sweet. But what we're going to be doing is having everything that we have in here, guys, is going to be now put into one system. So now some of you guys, what happens, you know how it's kind of all over the place right now. Someone joins, they pay with PayPal. It takes them a little bit. I know Carlson has a little bit of a better process, but it takes them a little bit to get into the coaching process. You know, you have to reach out to them by email. Then you know, the training videos are over here, and then you have to wait to get your sales funnel over here, and then you have to, you know, everything's kind of all over. Well, everything's going to be all together into one system. And it's going to have a residual. It's going to be $99 a month. It's going to be paying a 30% commission for everyone, which is going to be cool, because now everyone's going to have the ability to have that. But what the biggest thing is that now when someone buys, as soon as they buy, they immediately go in. They're going to go through the coaching process and everything inside the back office. They're going to go through the coaching process, fill out the form. They're going to have access. Their capture page and their sales funnel is going to be automatically built for them already. And all the training's going to be, everything's going to be in one spot. So we'll only have to go to one spot now. We won't have to go to anything. And that's what's going to be, that's basically, to give you guys the gist of it. That's what's going to be coming moving forward. And it's going to make stuff even easier as we get going, which is going to be really, really cool. I don't have an exact date or so. I saw the back office today, so got to shoot a couple more videos to put in, and we're pretty much good to go on that there. Let's see. What is this? Hello. What chat are we in? Kelly, we are in comment section. Okay. Here, let me just add. Josh, love these videos. Got my lucky water cup. That's awesome, Josh. I love that. And then okay, awesome. So with that being said, so for there, what we'll do then is I'll keep doing those videos if that's what people are liking, and we'll keep doing that stuff, because honestly, guys, everything in here, and we say this all the time, and it's gonna start to really sink in. And some of you guys, it's gonna take a little while. Some of you guys, you're gonna get it right away, right? Really just being consistent with yourself and just making sure that you get into these routines. It's going to take a while to wake up every morning and instinctively just grab the magic and start reading it. It's going to take a little while till you get to that point. But once you do, like for me, I subconsciously do it without even thinking about it. I don't think about it at all. I wake up and that's what I do in the morning, is I drink some water and I read the magic and I get grateful before I go and do a workout, right? And then getting in those routines where you're either doing some sort of physical activity in the morning, but then focusing on yourself, right? Making sure you're reading the books and keeping yourself accountable. You're reading half an hour to an hour a day. And if it helps, you know, take notes on what you read, shoot a video teaching what you read and post it on YouTube, right? Something, if whatever you need to do that helps, that allows you to absorb that information better, great, go and do it. Because the biggest thing, guys, on everything that we're going to be doing moving forward is, especially right now, you guys have a very, very basic framework of what we're doing, right? For those of you guys that are just getting started, you're just running Facebook ads, and that's basically all you're doing, and you're just split testing there. The biggest variable in this equation, the only variable in this equation, is you, and so as soon as you get to that point, the biggest thing is that most people come in and the belief in themselves is that they don't know if, like, oh, can I do this? Am I going to be able to do it? Yeah, I see Carlson going and crushing it, but can I do this? Right? I don't know. And then they start, and they're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if it's going to work. And even if you think, like, the thing is that it might not even be that you're consciously saying that. You could be consciously going in and going, I'm going to do this and see if it works, right? But subconsciously, based on your program's going, you can do this, you probably can't work, it's probably not going to work, whatever it may be. And this is why when you're focusing on personal development, really getting in, once you guys realize the potential of how much power every single one of you have, when you're literally, the deliberate creator of your own reality. If you want to create success, you literally have the ability to create whatever that is that you want. And this is where when we start to do those, we did that vision where you're writing down your vision in the present tense so that you can visualize, getting in the process of, getting in the habit of doing like a visualization exercise of visualizing what it's going to feel like when you look into your back office and you see that you just made $10,000 for the last month. What is that going to feel like? What is it going to feel like when you're overlooking the balcony, you're overlooking an oceanfront property out on the beach, and like, how does that feel? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And really stepping into that where you're like, okay, I want to be this person that does all this. Well, if you want to be a 10K per month earner that lives on the beach and travels the world, you need to step into that person right now and start to think, act, and be as if you are that person right now, right? And I say this a lot where it's like, people say, I'll believe it when I see it. You will not see it until you believe it. That it's impossible for it to ever happen unless you fully believe without any doubt whatsoever that you're going to be able to create a result. You're not going to be able to do it, right? And so this is the biggest by far out of everything. Carlson, did you want to add something, buddy?
Yeah, and everybody can look around them right now in the room, and everything they see is a proof of that. Everything you see in front of you was a thought before it was manifested into reality. Every single thing. There's absolutely no way that anything can be created or manifested in your world unless you can see it and believe it first. And I promise, guys, when you are working on your personal development, you're working on yourself, and you're moving along the business strategies you're being supplied, and you're feeling yourself having that first $10,000 a month. When you get to that first $10,000 a month, it's not going to feel like it's feeling like in your bedroom you're going, oh my God, I made $10,000. It's not going to feel like that, because you're going to be excited. It's going to be amazing, but it's going to feel natural to you. It's going to feel like you've already been there because you've already seen it so many times. You've already believed that you're going to be that person. So there was never a doubt. The only time it's going to feel like, is when you still have that little bit of doubt that you're not going to do it. When you know you're going to achieve it, it just is. And when you become it, it just happens. You're like, oh, that's okay. I just had a $10,000 a month. I just had a $5,000 a month. You know what I mean? So it's that personal development. It's you don't get what you want. You get what you are. And you'll hear Jang and I say that over and over again, guys. So it really is the foundation of everything, is that visualization, believing in yourself, constantly improving on every aspect, whether it's your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional level. You're always working on all of those, on all those sides. And so, yeah, that's really it. You just got to keep that process moving forward.
That's awesome, dude. I like that a lot. I'm trying to get one of those cool little tagline things like you have.
Isn't that neat? Do you have the Hangout Toolbox app?
Yeah. See if that works.
And guys, all this stuff that we tell you guys and stuff I will say it a million times more, because it wasn't really until I applied it in my life or Jang applied it to his life that we got results. I mean, Cam was telling us all the time, you know what I mean? Do this, read that, and it wasn't until we actually practiced that we started seeing the best results in our life. I literally built seminars around that process, proved it over and over again. And it's really, really, really important, guys. And we have enough quantum physics to tell you that now that that's true. There's no way around it. I mean, we could live in a holographic, universe here where everything is being projected from you. I mean, you're not really seeing everything outside of you, you're seeing it inside of here anyway. So you might as well get that vision clear inside of here. So what you're seeing in here and believing in here then starts to manifest, around you as your reality. You know what I mean? You're creating it from within, and then it projects outwardly. So you're going to see the world outside of you, how you feel about yourself on the inside, how you feel about your finances, how you feel about yourself, just in all aspects of your life. What you see around you now is what you think about yourself on the inside. That's just simple. And that's either a harsh criticism for yourself right now, or you're excited and glad, or you're at a point you're like, okay, I need to make changes, and you make those changes. Doesn't matter. You just decide you're going to make, go forward,
Absolutely. And just like he's saying, like, it's all about how you're feeling on the inside. I know from personal experience, my inside used to be shit. My inside, I used to think shitty things about myself. I used to think I was stupid. I used to think I wasn't smart enough. I was not worthy. I was not, all of these limiting beliefs that I had through my whole life that were holding me back from creating success. But not only that, it was causing me to focus on negative things. And when I felt bad on the inside, everything on the outside reflected that, and I started to see that. And when I was negative and I was focused on negative things, all of a sudden you start to realize all the fucking negative things in the world happen to you, right? And you're like, why does it all why is it all happening to me? That's how I felt all the time. And then I started focusing on personal development, and I'm like, shit, I created all of this. I created my entire life to be negative. I created my entire life to suck. You have the ability to create any life you want. You can create it to be really, really shitty, or you can create it to be the best life that people only even dream of. And it's all going to come to when you start really focusing on yourself and really focus on the information and the knowledge that you're taking in, because that's what's going to create all the information that's coming in is what's going to dictate and change what you start to see on the outside, right? When you start to fill yourself with good, positive knowledge and positivity and more information, you're going to start to see that all of a sudden everything starts to be more positive. When you start focusing on, not having enough money, stressing about bills, stressing about this, which some of you guys might be in a position where you're there. I know what it's like to stress about bills. I know what it's like doing an overdraft every single week over and over and over. And it was stressful. I was like, shit, I really hope my overdraft is even going to cover my rent this time, because I actually splurged a little bit and bought 4 packs of Mr. Noodles this week. You know what I mean? Like I remember that because my overdraft was only like $250 or so. And so I would push the limit a couple times. And that's the biggest stress. And what would that do? Now I'm stressed about money. What is that doing? It's creating more situations in my life for me to stress about money. So now guess what? My paycheck was short. So you know what? Or this happened or something. All these situations started happening because that's what I was focusing on. That's what I was creating in my life, right? I didn't know that I was the deliberate creator of my reality, and then when I started focusing on negative things, I created more negative things, right? So when you start focusing on what you're wanting to create, this is why we have you guys write out your vision and your goals, because when you start to paint that picture in your mind and take actions toward it, you'll notice that everything just starts to fall into place. You don't even know what's going to happen. You don't know how this is going to fall into place. You just know if you keep taking action and keep moving forward, that stuff's going to happen. People are going to cross your path. You're going to meet up with certain people that are going to help you push towards and get you towards that goal, right? And so one of the, this is why all the time, over and over, and it might sound repetitive to some people, but we have to say this over and over and make sure that everyone stays consistent with this stuff, because I know, Carlson knows, Angela knows, we all know from personal experience what this is going to do for your life when you really start applying this stuff. Not only are your ads going to get better, your business is going to get better, your relationships are going to get better, everything in your life is going to get better. Right? Because you're going to realize that, damn, I literally have the ability. It's like your life is a big canvas, and you have the ability to paint whatever the hell you want. Right? And the thing is, what happens is that most people do not realize they have this power, and so they're operating by default. They're just kind of operating based on programs that they've been developed their entire life, and so you don't even know that you're creating it. You don't even know, and so you think most people think the world happens to them. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people think. The world happens to me, and it's like, oh man, all these things keep happening. You create everything, and as soon as you start to take responsibility for stuff, and it can get. I got in a car accident 2 years ago or a year ago when I first started focusing on personal development. Everyone's like, oh, poor you, that's so bad. I'm like, you know what? I created it. And it wasn't even my fault. It was the other person's fault. And I took responsibility. It was like, you know what? I created it. I was not in the right mindset. I was focusing on the wrong things. Whether everything's positive or negative, it doesn't matter what it is in your life, you created it. And as soon as you start to take responsibility for that, you start to really realize that, wow, these things are happening to let me know if a bad thing happens, shit, I'm not thinking clearly. I need to start switching the way that I'm thinking, and that's a reminder for me to be like, hey, Jang, wake the fuck up. Stop thinking about that. Start shifting what you're focusing on, so that you can start creating something different. Because if you start focusing on all those stuff, when something really, really good happens, you know what I mean? At the same time, you always want to keep things in a balance. You don't want to become over-elated over something that happens that's really good, and you don't want to get too down about something that happens that's bad as well. You want to always make sure that you're kind of bringing yourself into balance, and you'll learn that as you start reading more like the Breakthrough Experience. He goes really deep into being balanced and always being balanced like that. And whew, Sorry, guys, I got a little,
Woo!
I
Go Jay! Yeah.
love you, buddy.
That's awesome.
Um, awesome. So I'm just looking through some comments here. My last 90-day goal I did in July came true. A couple of days off, but I went to Hawaii for Catalyst, and I realized when I went there that I actually was there in Hawaii. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. So Scott Miller says a little late, but I'm here. What's up, brother? Sky's the limit. You're absolutely right, Matt. You're absolutely right. The sky is the limit, and especially when you're same. I don't know what everyone's saying same to. Are they saying same that they're creating their life like I was? Maybe it was that. And the thing is, what's cool about that is that like most people, they first find out about this and they go, wait a second, I didn't create that car accident. I didn't create my bills. I didn't create all these things, but you did. And it's hard to hear the first time to go like you did everything. Every bad thing that happens to me, I created from either a thought that I had or an action that I took, and I need to own that I created it. Just the same way that I need to own that all the good things in my life, that I created those as well, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's going to be bad things that happen. There's going to be good things that happen. Everything in your life, it doesn't matter if you have bad things that have happened, if you've lived a super negative life, because at any moment in time, you can go, wait a second, hey, the way that I've been living my life has created a life that I don't really like, maybe. Maybe I'm a little bit more negative and I don't really like the way that my life's going. Maybe I'm not as successful as I want to be. Okay, cool. What do I need to do to start changing that? Well, I just figured out that I've been creating my whole life to be negative. How can I start creating my life to be positive? What can I start doing every day to start being more positive? I don't know. Maybe if I was being more grateful every day, I would attract more things in my life to be grateful for. This is exactly why we have everyone read this every morning. What happens when you think about things that you're grateful for? In the beginning, yeah, you're going over my friends, my family, the amazing people I get to work with, the house that I live in, the income. Cool, but eventually you get to the thing where you're like, I'm grateful for my lungs that allow me to breathe air so I can live. Like, I'm grateful for my legs that I can walk. I'm grateful for the snow outside because it looks beautiful and I get to look at that every single day. Like, you get grateful for everything, right? And when you're that grateful for like every single area of your life, how does it feel? It feels great. What does that do? It attracts more situations in your life for you to feel like that. Right? That's why one of the biggest things, especially because most people, and it's not even your fault, a lot of people, when I'm thinking negative all the time beforehand, when I had a negative life, what you guys got to realize is that a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, you know, I was so negative, I was so this, and they put too much pressure on themselves. The fact is, from when you're 0 to 8 years old, 80% of your programs of how you operate your entire life are installed by the time you're 0 to 8. And so I want you to think about that. Are you consciously aware of the information that you're taking in when you're 0 to 8 years old? Probably not so much. You're just having a great time playing with face paints and going around, you know what I mean? Like, you don't care about anything. You're just like going around listening to whatever mommy and daddy and the teachers tell you. And that's the Bible, whatever they tell you, right? Which can be great, and I'm sure a lot of you, and I know I did, you get a lot of very positive programs that you operate your life from, but you'll also get some negative ones. I know I had ones that are like, I believed when I started growing up, and this came from school, from not getting good grades, I believed that I wasn't smart enough, or I believed that making money was extremely difficult, or I believed that if I wanted something done right, I had to do it myself. There's maybe numerous beliefs, but a lot of them stem down to one can be not good enough. And it could be a belief that maybe it's come from anything. It could have been something when you were 8 years old and something happened when you were in class and someone made you feel like you weren't good enough, and so your entire life now you operate based on that belief. And so when you see people creating success, you go, I would love to create that amount of success, but I'm not good enough to do it. And so you subconsciously sabotage any way for you to create that success because you have a belief in your mind that you are not worthy of success. This is where the breakthrough experience is actually amazing because it really gets you to dig down into some limiting beliefs that can be holding you back in different areas of your life. And it gets to when you really start to think about them, if they're coming in from when you're 0 to 8 years old, you knowing you don't have that much conscious control over what information you take in at that age, where do you get those from? Well, your mom, your dad, your teachers, whoever the kids were that you had spent time around when you're 0 to 8. And then I think about it, like one that held me back for a very long time was that I believe that I was not smart. That was a belief that I had, that I was dumb. I was not smart at all. And it came from me when I started doing the breakthrough experience. We saw DeMartini in Hawaii, and I started reading that book before, but where it came from, I remember being in the 2nd grade, and when the teacher's up at the front, you got 30 kids, 20 kids in your class. Teacher asks a question, and I go to my hand to put up an answer, and I got the answer wrong. And all the other kids laughed at me and said I was stupid or dumb or whatever. And so now, what did I do? I now created a program that was like, hey, don't ask questions, because if you ask questions, you're going to get it wrong, and people are going to call you stupid. So that's what I associated. So what did I do? My entire life, I never asked questions. I sat there quietly. I never was outgoing. I hated speaking in front of the class. I hated doing all these things, and I thought I was never smart. How did that show up in my life? Well, I got shitty grades, and I go, of course, see, I'm not smart. What happens is all your beliefs that you have, whether they're positive and negative, your mind looks for ways to prove that they're right, because you're going to find ways to prove that they're right throughout your whole life. For me, I would go and fail a test. I go, see, told you I'm not smart. And I fail another one. See, told you, got a question wrong, not smart, can't do this. And my whole life I was trying so hard to prove how I wasn't smart. Well, I get older and I start realizing personal development and what I've done, and I'm like, shit, that doesn't really serve me. I don't want to believe that I'm not smart. I don't want to go into business and think that I'm not smart. I need to change that. There's a belief in there that's not serving me. I need to get rid of it. I need to start, and so the breakthrough experience, he has one quote in there that's, what is it? I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom. And I love that one a lot, and I say that one quite often. And affirmations are a really good way to help you get over a belief, and they're good. The thing is, where with affirmations, I valued now, because I learned that, hey, I have a belief that's telling me I'm not smart. I need to figure out, how I can change that to be able to apply myself better, be able to learn better, be able to and take in more information. So I valued now becoming smart. I valued becoming a genius. I valued, and I'm not by any means a genius, but that's what I valued. So when I create an affirmation saying I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom, or I use DeMartini's affirmation, because I valued what that affirmation was, it starts to set in as a belief, right? I start to go in now all the time, and it doesn't matter what comes up. I know I'm going to figure out how to do something, whereas before, even just not so long ago, I would run into a lot of issues a lot of times, and I would frustrate myself, and it would always come back to that belief of I'm not smart enough. Things would work, and then something comes up, and I don't know how to fix it. Oh, I'm not smart enough, right? But now, that was an affirmation I would do. So as many times a day as possible, I would say, I am a genius, and I apply my wisdom. And I would say that all the time, and I physically believe in every ounce of my being that I will apply all of my wisdom that I learned. I know anything that ever comes up, even if I don't know it right now, I know there's some way for me to figure it out, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. And then I'm just going to do it. Like, that's where it's going to come down to. And the reason why I use that example, some of you guys might not even have that. Some of you guys might think you're a genius, and great. That's an awesome belief already, because now you're going to crush everything that you come into. But I know that a lot of times what holds people back is having negative beliefs like that. And another one can be, a really big one is that you need to work really hard for money, or money doesn't grow on trees, stuff like that. And what that can do, how that can get set in, I know for me, you have to work hard for money. Where did I get that? I remember constantly hearing the conversation with my parents when I was a little kid, arguing about money. And arguing about how hard they worked and how hard it is to come across money, and we don't have a lot of money and all these things. And so I grew up believing that making money was difficult and money doesn't grow on trees and all that crap, right? and then I get older, and then I go to a job, and then I get paid $10 an hour to be at a butcher shop, and I go, see, making money's hard. Proof. I got proof right here. It's hard. So then it sets in even more. Well, mom told me it was hard. Dad told me it was hard. I saw it hard for them, and then I go to a job, and it's hard. It must be hard, right? So now when we come online and we see people going, making money is easy, how do you believe that? It makes you kind of go, whoa, hold on a second, because I have a belief that's telling me making money is difficult. These people are telling me it's hard. They're wrong, because what I believe is true, right? And what you believe, any belief that you have, whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong, you're right. You know what I mean? This is one of the biggest things. Like, and so when you have that type of belief, and then I started, I was at the butcher shop, I confirmed again that, oh, making money is difficult. Well, you come into online, and you have Cam looking at you like this going, making money is so easy. And then a big smile on his face, and I'm like, ugh, like, no, it's not, man. Like, for you, maybe, like, what the hell? But I had a belief that it was difficult. So what did I need to do? I need to switch that belief around, because he thinks it's so easy, and then he does it, and it's easy. I'm like, wait a second, like, there must be something to that. And as soon as I started creating affirmations and I started going in, I'm like, you know what? This is easy. Maybe I don't know how to do Facebook ads that well right now. Maybe my sales funnels are sucking right now. Maybe everything in my business is hard right now. You know what? Screw this. This is all going to be easy. If Facebook ads are being difficult for me, I'm going to focus more time on Facebook ads, and because I know there has to be a way to do it. If Cam can do it, I can do it. If Dakota can do it, if Carlson can do it, if Angela can do it, so can I. So I'm going to figure out how to do it. It doesn't matter, and I know I can. Carlson.
It's more just a test, guys. They're saying that you're frozen, and we keep trying to send it, but it's working on my end okay. So they wanted me to pop out, see if you can hear me. So guys, if you can hear me on here or see me pop out, just let us know in the chat right there. I posted the YouTube link twice now in there. You should be able to watch it there if you're having issues watching it on Facebook. So this is your test, guys. Let me know if you can see me popped out or can hear me. Okay. Let's see. Should be about 20 second delay probably. Just to make sure it's going, guys. Yeah, I have tested on a couple different browsers, and it seems to be working okay. I'm not sure if it's just you guys watching on Facebook.
Sorry, dude.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It should work either way. The recording will work, because as long as it's working on our end, the recording will work. So if you guys did miss anything, just go back in the recording when we're done the hangout here. We're gonna be done in probably 20 minutes here, just because we do have the Elite hangout that's gonna be on after. So for all of you guys that did join AWOL Elite, we're all gonna be meeting up at 7 for that as well. Shit, I don't know where it cut me off there. But that's just one of the things when you're starting to get into the space, because a lot of the things become, you're going to have to rewire a lot of the ways that you think, and a lot of the ways that you're coming into this, most people do not think like this. Most people do not think like they can create their entire life any way that they want. Most people do not think that they're the deliberate creator of their own reality. Most people do not think that way. They just don't. So when you come in and you start to hear us teaching stuff like that, and you start to hear us recommending books, and you start reading and learning this stuff, some of you, it might be completely foreign. I know for me it was, because now all of a sudden, most people want to operate in their life playing the victim, right? Most people. I did 100%. I played the victim until I was probably 20, and I was the victim. Because what happens when you're the victim? You don't have to accept responsibility for everything because you're a victim. My life's negative because the world happens to me. It's not my fault. My world sucks. It's all happening to me. People want to play a victim because they don't want to accept responsibility for things that happen in your life. Because if they accept responsibility, that means they created the negative things. People always want to accept responsibility for the good things, and then not accept responsibility for all the bad things. If you can't accept responsibility for good things without also accepting responsibility for all of the bad things in your life. There's no way that happens. Everything in your life happened as a direct result of your thoughts and actions that you've taken. The people that are in your life, the job that you have, every single thing in your life you have created, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And as soon as you get that, it's a really liberating feeling. Because at first you're like, shit, well, I've been creating my life to suck. So I thought, I was like, man, my life sucks. I work at a butcher shop, make $10 an hour. I stab myself every day. I smell like meat. My life sucks. I go into overdraft every week, and I constantly look through all these things, but I'm like, wait a second. If I created my life to be that shitty, I can also create my life to be way better. That's what I want. I want my life to be better, right? I don't want to continue living like this. And so I'm like, hey, well, how do I start doing that? I need to find people that have a better life and model them. What do you know? I stumbled across a Facebook ad of Cameron and Dakota in Thailand living the life, and I'm like, wow, like they have the results that I want to achieve. And there's someone that I can tell is honest and trustworthy, and someone that I would partner up with. Okay, well, I need to join with them. I need to figure out what they're doing, right? So I joined and started doing business with them. Okay, and then they're telling me that they are thinking completely different. They're focusing on themselves more than they focus on their business. Well, if Cameron's focusing on himself more than he focuses on his business, I need to focus on myself more than I focus on my business. If he's reading every day, I need to read every day. If he's listening to audios every time when he goes to sleep, I'm going to listen to audios. I just model what other people are doing if that's what I want to create, right? The thing is, what holds people back a lot, too, is your circle of influence and the people that you surround yourself with. And this is where it can get a little tough. I know it was tough for me because I grew up in a kind of small city. 99% of my friends were negative. The world happens to them. They have no control over anything. And so what happens? What are the conversations that you have with those people? Some of them might be your best friends ever. I have friends that I laugh my ass off every time I'm with, and I have a great time, but I don't ever learn anything. And half the time when I'm not laughing, they're complaining about this, they're complaining about that. I don't have enough money for this. I can never travel. I can never do this. You're so lucky. You know, all these things, the world happens to me. I have no control. And so what happens? You could be at home reading DeMartini all you want, but then you go out and you start surrounding yourself by those people that don't think that way. And the thing is that, like I've said, you'll learn lots of times, your conscious mind can only take in so much. Your subconscious is taking in everything. So even if you're around people that are negative and complaining and stuff, and you're like, I know they're complaining and they're negative, I'm not gonna focus on that stuff. It doesn't matter. You're subconsciously taking it in regardless to whether you're consciously aware of it or not. And so that was one thing that was tough, because when you first start working on stuff like this and you first start focusing on personal development and stuff, you want to try and teach people. You want to be like, wow, like this is so cool. And then you go talk to someone about it, and they go, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You create your own reality. You don't create anything. You're living at a butcher shop cutting steak. Like, you created that? You created that car accident? You created all these things? You know, they don't get it, right? And so now all of a sudden you go back home and then you start thinking, well, damn, is this stuff real? Does it work? All my friends don't believe it. All my friends don't think I can create my own reality. All my friends don't think I can do these things. You know what I mean? And this is what can happen, because the thing is that misery loves company, and you're going to start to notice that I have people that, you know what, you're going to have friends that'll make you laugh, they're a great time, they're fun to hang around with, but you know they're pretty negative. I have to give those people a time limit. I can only talk to them for 5 minutes. And that's all I can do, because I know if I'm there for any longer, I'm going to start going, because what happens, they start complaining about this, eventually you're like, yeah, that sucks, and you're like, wait a second, why am I, fuck out, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to focus on negative stuff, but you get sucked in real easily, because misery loves company. But one of the things I would suggest too is that when you are reading personal development and you're focusing on yourself, you're focusing on your business, I would try and keep most of that stuff within a circle of people that know about stuff like this, especially when it comes to personal development, network marketing, anything like that, because it's very easy to get discouraged. And the thing is that, have you guys ever heard about that theory about why when fishermen, when they're fishing for crabs, why they don't have to put a lid on the bucket of crabs? I don't know if you, Carlson, I think you and Angela have heard it. So, for example, they're fishing for crabs, right? They catch a whole bunch of them. They put them in a bucket. They don't even have to put a lid on it. And everyone's like, well, what do you mean? Aren't they going to all get out and run? No, they can't, because what happens? One crab goes to try and get out, and all the other ones go and pull it back in and try and climb over it. And then another one tries to get out, and all the other ones come in and try and pull them back down. And that's what happens in life. People see you being successful and focusing on yourself and trying to better yourself, and then go, hey, I'm not focusing on myself. I'm not bettering on myself. You make me feel like I'm not as good, so I'm going to try and bring you down to my level. That's what happens when you start to raise yourself up and you start to have negative people in your life. You want to your instinct is like, hey, let me help you. How can I'm reading these books, they're great. Let me try and help you up. But 9 times out of 10, instead of you bringing them up, they bring you down. And that's just what happens, because DeMartini was talking about it when we were at his event. And that's why he's saying you got to be very, very careful. You are who you surround yourself by. And so that's where you got to be really, 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 really careful, is think about that in all different areas of life. Financially, relationships-wise, positive, like for people that are negative and positive. Think about that. Think about the 5 closest people that you hang out with and look at all their incomes. Add them up, divide them by 5. You're probably in that spot, right around there. Right? Same with if you hang around with 5 really negative people that complain a lot, and you start to notice that, hey, I'm complaining. This is what would happen. I would hang out with all my friends, and everyone would always look on Facebook how much people go and just complain about random stupid stuff that doesn't matter at all. And it's all negative. It's all this stuff, and people just feed on it. And the thing, and what does that start to do? It starts to impact every area of your life, and it'll start to show up everywhere. It's going to show up in your business. It's going to show up in your relationships. It's going to show up in all different areas of your life. And so that's one thing that I know I had trouble with, was I would read these books and stuff like that. I didn't tell any of my friends. I didn't tell anyone. I just said, you know what? I'm going to listen to people that are more successful than me. I'm going to focus. If they're more successful than me and they read every day, I don't care. I'm going to read every day, right? What you want to do is you want to start to kind of look about who you take advice from. I used to take financial advice from my mom, right? My mom makes 20, 30, 40,000 a year, and I would take financial advice from her. Which, when I'm not making $30,000 a year and I'm making like less than that, sure, maybe there's something I can learn there, right? But when you're making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, is that someone that you're going to want to take financial advice from, right? Or if you're wanting to, say you're at a point in your life right now where you want to create massive success in your business and you want to learn how to create $30,000 a month, are you going to listen to your friends that work at a job and work 40 hours a week and only make $3,000 a month about how to create $30,000 a month? Or are you going to listen to the person that makes $30,000 a month, right? Are you going to listen to the negative people in your life that tell you personal development's stupid and all this stuff, or that belittle you for trying to benefit yourself? Or are you going to listen to someone who's positive, that enjoys life, that does all the things this is the thing, and this is what happens is people are too, everyone wants to give information, but not everyone's, not everyone's really authorized to be able to give out that sort of information, right? So you got to be very careful with the people that you listen to and the information that you take in. This is why I really want to create hangouts like this. I want to have a team group where we can all chat together, because we are all here focusing on ourselves. We're all here lifting each other up. I want every single one of you guys to create a life that most people dream of, and I can't wait till every single one of you guys go and crush out a $10,000 a month like Carlson, right? I can't wait till you guys all start traveling around with us and hanging out. How much fun did we have, Angela and Carlson, when we were out in Hawaii, and we had a blast all the time. I can't wait till we have every single one of you guys there. And the fact is when you're stay close to the circle of influence that's creating those types of results, guess what? You show up to all these hangouts, you listen to all our videos, you go through all our trainings, you read these books, you start to think like us, you start to act like us, you start to act like DeMartini, you start to take actions like him. You should, everything in your life, all of a sudden you start to model those people, right? You start hanging around with 10 people that are, if you have 9 close friends that you hang around with the most that are making $10,000 a month, I guarantee you're going to be the 10th, right? And this is the thing. And it's going to be really cool when all of you guys really step into it. And I'm noticing it all. Like, obviously, Carlson, Angela, this is stuff that they do a lot. You'll see Justin Connell. All of a sudden, he's only been in for a couple months, and he was pretty close to doing 10K the other month. And what does he do a lot? He focuses on himself a ridiculous amount. He came to that event and had a breakthrough that I've never even seen. He was like a completely different person when he left that weekend. And he was like, oh my God. And like, this is the thing too, guys. Not only like reading the books, listening to audios, focusing on yourself just as much as you focus on your business. But whenever we do an event, keep this in mind. In the next 2 months, there's going to be another event. 2-3 months, there's going to be another event. Plan for it. Get there. Do whatever you need to do to get there, because you're going to surround. Imagine being in a room of 200 people that all think like us. And they're all positive. Everyone's happy. Everyone lifts you up. If you come and you're like, hey, I really want to do this, and I love doing this stuff, I'm going to go, hell yeah, let's do that. Let's figure out a way to make that work. Like, I'm going to push you to be the best you can possibly be. I'm not going to sit there and try and drag you down, right? And that's why it's very hard to be in environments most of the time. I can't even go back home. I went home for the last month. I saw maybe 2 of my friends, maybe, and I had to leave early because I was like, I couldn't handle being in that type of an environment because I'm so used to being surrounded by positive people all the time. I can feel it like draining my energy, and it affects me so much. So if you guys can really take anything, and you guys are going to hear me say this all the time until you guys start doing it, and the fact is we're going to have new people that come in all the time, so I'm just going to say it all the time. We're gonna, like, as soon as you start focusing on yourself more than you focus on your business, and you really start getting clear, what do you want to create? If you have not written down your 90-day game plan of what you're wanting to create, go through, check out one of the previous Hangouts that we've put up, and get clear where you want to be, who do you want to be with, how much money do you want to make, what is it? Are you going to get a new house? Are you going to spend more time with your family? Are you going to retire your wife or your husband? Are you going to travel more? What are you going to do? What do you want to create? Right? Get clear on what you want to create, where you want to go, and then let's start taking some action steps and start creating a way to be able to go out and do this. You guys all have one of the easiest vehicles right now to get started with, and the fact is that it's one of the easiest things to get started with, and it can get more and more profitable the more responsibility you start taking with your business. Right? You guys all start off right away, and you have 90% of your business automated. Right? So you just focus on yourself, you read books, you listen to audios, you do Facebook ads. Right? And then you get that, you start making some money, and you go, wow, this is awesome. I want to make a bit more. I want to start taking on more responsibility. Then you start doing coaching calls. Now you're making the $99 on the front end straight to you. Now you're making even more. You're like, wow, this is great. Like, now I want to make more. Then you start building your own funnels, and now you have full control over your leads. Now you know exactly how many leads you have and how much it's costing you to acquire a lead. What's that going to allow you to do? That's going to allow you to scale faster and really know your numbers more, which is going to make you more money. Cool. Now you start to go. Now let's get to the next level. Now you start building lists for your team. Now you start shooting your own videos. Now you start becoming an authority figure into your group. You start making your own team groups. Maybe you start getting to the point where you have your first $10,000 a month. Then you create your own product. Right? The sky is the limit for what any of you guys want to create. Every single one of you guys has the ability to do whatever it is that you want. And we're going to be here for you guys every single step of the way. We're going to have the pretty close in the next few weeks to a month or so. We're going to have a very more streamlined, simplified system for everyone to go. We're going to have a residual aspect to that. We're going to have new traffic sources for you guys to use on top of Facebook. I already just negotiated with a guy today for some traffic that we're going to be testing, and we've got a couple guys that we're going to be testing as well that you guys are all going to be able to use. We're going to keep throwing fuel on the fire for every single one of you guys that are hustling. So as long as you guys are moving, getting stuff done, just start having a little bit of a fire going, and you're going. right? We're going to be throwing gas on it the whole time. There's always going to be new things coming out. There's always going to be new information. There's always going to be new ad strategies or new techniques that we're going to be able to teach you, right? There's always going to be new books that we're focusing on, new audios that we're listening to. There's always going to be areas to grow in every single area of your life, right? And when you start to, all you guys really need to do is just get a little bit better. And I say this all the time, just a little bit better than the person you were the day before. You don't need to look at Carlson and be like, man, that guy made $10,000 in a month. I don't know how to do that. How am I supposed to do that? Right? Don't compare yourself to people like Carlson or to people like Angela or Jake or Justin. Or don't compare yourself to people, because you're automatically only going to look at the positive things, and you're not going to see what it took them to get there. You're not going to see all the failures. You're not going to see all the temporary defeat and adversity that they had to go through to get there. All you see is rainbows and fairyland. You know what I mean? And so you look at that and go, and then you look at your life, and then you beat yourself up. All you need to do is make it a game between yourself. You're only playing against yourself. And you just need to be a little bit better than the person you were the day before. You need to maybe read a little bit more, apply a little bit more information, listen to more audios. Guys, if you don't have Audible, I would highly suggest on your phone, download Audible, Audible, I think. I can spell, yes. Download Audible on your phone, and you can get audiobooks right from there. I listen to an audio every time when I go to sleep. I put it down just low enough where I can just barely hear it, and I fall asleep with audios all the time. And you're going to reprogram your subconscious. You're sleeping anyways. Let it run while you're sleeping and while you're out and about. You can be listening to audios while you're walking, at a workout, or anything like that. We only got about 5 minutes left. Angela, do you want to pop out and say anything? And just, is there anything that you wanted to touch on from anything there? I don't want to put you on the spot a little bit, but I kind of did.
That's okay. No. Yeah, I was thinking. Eric put up that audio file for A Happy Pocket Full of Money, and I just love that book. I love it because it wasn't until I plugged into this group that I really started becoming aware of, like, you know, the things that I was actually thinking about, and it totally develops your wealth consciousness and helps you to realize that everything that you ever want to create is already inside of you. You know, and that book really helps pull it out of you and just step into it and become it. You know, and then it starts showing up on the outside. You know, so it has some awesome main points that, you know, if you're just playing that while you're, you know, doing whatever, even sleeping, like you said, you know, it's being embedded into your subconscious. So that's a good one too, and we have that link thanks to Eric. That's awesome. I appreciate that so much, Eric. I love that book.
Yeah, that's an awesome one. How long ago did you read that one? I remember when I first read that Happy Pocket Full of Money, because it touches on very basic levels of like quantum physics, which I find quantum physics to be like extremely interesting, but at the same time, a lot of it is like way over my head. So I really liked how they kept it pretty basic so that you could understand, you know, kind of how they're saying it. And just like you said, like everything that you've wanted to create in your life is already there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just think that one was really cool. If you guys haven't got Happy Pocket Full of Money, the audio file, thanks to Carlson, is it in the files section of the GSD group, or?
Yeah, it is, and I actually just reposted the link in the chat the chat roll we're doing right now, guys. And you get you can listen to it free on Spotify. So you just click on that, go over there, and yeah, there you go.
Awesome, dude. Carlson, is there anything you want to touch on before I know we all gotta jump over to Elite here.
No, man, everything's been right on tonight, guys, and it's true. One thing Jane was saying there is, like, don't look at me, don't look at Jane, look at Angela, don't look at people who are getting the results and think, okay, you know, that's not me, you know, and get frustrated by that. The only way any of us are getting to where we wanted to be was, first of all, I was watching Cam, I was watching Dakota, I was watching other people who were getting the results, and I still didn't have the personal development side where I was really 100% believing I could. I just kept thinking, if they could do it, I could do it. You know, if they can do it, I can do it. So every time they had success, every time Jang brought somebody into the community, I made sure I was welcome to the community. I was enthusiastic about it. You know, every time Nate, anybody came in, I was enthusiastic and pumped, going, I can't wait to be doing this for myself too. Congratulations, this is great. You know, and you've got to put yourself in that state where you're like, this is going to be me someday. I'm going to do this too. And it doesn't matter if it's not me right now. It doesn't matter. How'd they get their success? But they've already told me, right? Read audios or listen to audios, read the books, you know, work on your personal development, just follow the skill sets that were being taught to you. And keep believing and working on your vision and believing in yourself, and keep following along, because that's the only way we got here. There wasn't a switch. There was no like switch. Oh, now it's happening. That's cool. It was, I'm going to do this someday. It might not be today, but every day I'm getting better. Remember, you're carrying yourself from, you know, days ago. You thank God there's an instant manifestation, or we'd all be going nuts around here. So there's lag time, right? There's lag time between that. So how have you been the last few days? Like if something bad happens to you or something good happens to you today, that's coming from who you were yesterday, the days before. So you have to, that's why the magic is so perfect, is you're really setting yourself up to get in a rhythm of gratitude and happiness, and letting the stresses are important in life. They're going to come, but you got to learn to be able to react to them properly, move on from them, and keep going forward, guys. So again, it goes right back to having your vision, following what you're being taught, working on your personal development, and those results will come. If you inevitably keep pushing and keep moving forward, you'll get there. So just want to end with that, guys.
That's awesome, dude. That's great. We are right at 7, guys, so we are going to cut it off here. For those of you guys, when we are going to post some videos, I'll be posting some updates to hold you guys, you know, accountable on certain things. If there's things you guys want me to touch on, certain things you guys want me to shoot a video and teach, or you would just want to figure out where you're at right now, where you want to be, what you're struggling with, and where you should do moving forward, when I post those videos, comment on them. Let me know where you're at, where you want to be. Hold yourself accountable and make sure that you're in there and you're like, okay, I've done this. This is what I got planned for the rest of the day. This is what I got planned for the rest of the week. And as soon as you start keeping yourself accountable every single day, all of a sudden 2 weeks go by and now you don't even think about it. You're reading every day, you're listening to audios, you're doing all these things, and you don't even think twice about it because you created it into a habit, and that's where it starts to get fun, because now you're programming your subconscious on autopilot without even thinking about it. And think about that now, how that's going to be able to serve you and benefit you in your life in every area of your life. So, guys, make sure that you guys are taking advantage of that, and I have no problem shooting videos like that, you know, every couple of days or every day or so, to be able to help you guys out with that. All right. Thank you, Carlson and Angela, both of you guys, for coming out, and I'll see you guys on the Elite webinar in a couple of seconds. For the rest of you guys, I love you all. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on next Hangout and the next videos that we shoot. All right? Take care, guys.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Bye, guys.